Foxboro's Conservation Commission meeting on October 6, 2025 at the Gala Meeting Room, Town Hall, 40 South Street, Foxborough. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded by Foxborough Cable Access. With that, I'll open the meeting. I'd like to do one public service announcement first. On Saturday, October 11th, Coast Sweep, the Lutheran Church here in town will be doing a pickup and litter for the National Coast Sweep Organization. And if anybody would like to join them, they would love to have some company. And it will be from 9 a.m. probably close to noon. So with that, I thank the Lutheran Church for their efforts on that. And we have some Boy Scouts tonight. Come on up.
All right. Good evening. Hello, members of the committee. My name is Jackson Whiting. I am a Life Scout in Troop 32. I am a junior at Foxborough High School, and I am currently working towards my Eagle rank. Now, as a part of that journey, I'm supposed to complete a project which benefits the community as a whole. For that project, I am proposing a replacement of the Warner Trail Bridge on the Lane property, and it's really something that I hold close to me, as I've been using it ever since I was a Cub Scout. And as the years go by, I see the conditions start to deteriorate as time goes on. I have some pictures that I would like to share with you,
Sure.
if I may.
Sure.
Okay. I got them in packets, so I'll just hand them out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So, I got a little bit more packets than I need. Okay. All right. So, if you kind of look at Exhibit 1, it is the location where the project would take place. So those of you who are familiar with the area, it's the Warner Trail down by the Lane property near the Neponset Reservoir. And it is it's the bridge across from the field as you walk in through the trail on Monroe Street. And it's in like a marshy area, kind of wetlands area. And then as we move on to Exhibit 2, you can see there's a tree there. Now that tree was a sapling when the original bridge was built, and as the years progressed, obviously the trees grow to a big tree, which ends up causing the bridge to start to tilt and shift. And that just kind of pinged me as a kind of a safety concern, especially for those who are like hiking every single day, and especially in the rain. And then if we move on to Exhibit 3, there are some cracks, and it's one of the many cracks at the bridge. This is kind of the biggest one, and it's kind of broken, and it's rotting, especially in the rain. If you walk through it, it's almost like you can't walk on it because there's a lot of algae and moss growing on it, so it becomes slippery, which most hikers I don't think would appreciate. And then Exhibit 4, so the bridge is being supported by rocks on one of the sides. It is a temporary solution to a much bigger problem, which is trying to support the twisting bridge that's kind of coming off the ground, just to make sure that it doesn't break. But obviously, like, if the rocks end up getting, like, if some teenager runs in and kicks all the rocks out, then there's going to be some problems that arise. And then if we move on to Exhibit 5, this is a Eagle Scout project from 2015, done by Dan Gorowski. And it is still standing after 10 years, which I found very, very, very interesting. And so I'm going to kind of take a page out of Dan's book. This is kind of what I want what my bridge looks like, but obviously kind of in a wetlands area, because it has a sound structure, and it's still standing. That's a picture from like a week ago. And then moving on to Exhibit 6. This is a design that I talked over with my grandfather, who is a structural engineer. And so we were thinking of breaking the bridge up into 6 sections, so we can pretty much carry all of the bridges in, and there's no need of like transport into the site. And we're planning on using pressure treated pine wood, and we're pretty much going to replace the bridge that's already there, as I said before. And moving on to Exhibit 7. These are the intended supports, what me and my grandfather were thinking. And it was pretty much, we're planning on potentially putting it on concrete paving blocks, just so we don't have to like drill anything into the wetlands to like destroy any sort of life that might be living there. So we're just going to place it up on the dirt, and hopefully it will stand. And then the timeline that I'm thinking of is, as I said before, planning to do the bridge and breaking it up into about 6 parts, where we then carry it over to the site. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks for me to actually build them. And then once approved by the committee, I'll start working on them right away. And the plan is to install over a weekend or 2, just to kind of give a little bit of time to make sure that the bridge can actually work. And I'm going to do it preferably before the end of the year, before winter comes, because then it will get kind of crappy to actually build the bridge over there. And the new bridge that we would be installing would be, while we're installing it, would be alongside the other bridge, which then any hikers that are like hiking for the day or over the weekend are able to still use the bridge without having to like walk through any wetlands. And then once the final bridge is finished, then we'll demo the old bridge and replace the new bridge into it, in its place. Does anybody have any questions?
Couple. Craig, the auger, I've been there numerous times. I haven't been there in the last several years, but that one area gets very wet. I'm wondering if just putting down patio blocks and brace on, if we should use the auger type supports for part of the bridge. I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
But I know that gets very wet there sometimes, and I guess my fear is that just sitting on the ground is not going to work.
I think that's a good question for Jackson. Here,
Okay.
you looked
But
at.
do you have experience with, I know you've been working in that field for a while, so.
I I have used both. I think if the area is large enough, it can, of the supports is large enough, it can sit on top fine. I'm not sure the cost of drilling and
Well, I know they
installing.
have some, it's
They
an
do it by
aug-
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hand.
It's a hand auger type thing, but it goes down and into,
Into the good dirt, gets by the mud without leaving a footprint.
not familiar with it.
Not with a hand. I've
Okay.
only used machine
Okay, no.
to do larger boardwalks, but
Okay, all right. Okay, had you considered that, or?
I considered drilling in, but then I realized that the committee might not want drilled in to the wetlands in order to do it. So we tried to find a solution
Yeah.
that doesn't really disrupt it. But if you're okay with it, then we could probably like drill in a couple
The
holes.
minimal invasive type of.
Minimal invasive. Okay. All right. I'm definitely willing to consider putting that into the plan.
I'm just afraid that just putting it on the ground, even though there's a good base there, it's quite mushy there.
Quite mushy. Yeah. Okay.
And-
Yeah. I'm willing to kind of put that into my consideration, see if it will work with the bridge instead of against it. But I'll put that into consideration, seeing if it can work.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? I commend you on the project, though. I've been, as I say, I've been over that trail many times, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jackson, have you looked just to see, I know you plan to put it where the current one is,
Mm-hmm.
but are you going to adjust the angle or the placement a little bit to avoid that tree?
Yeah. No. That slipped my mind. I realized as I was saying that we were going to install it alongside the bridge. Yeah, we're going to be angling it so the tree growth wouldn't be a problem, and it wouldn't affect the bridge or the newer bridge, and it just angled a little bit more. Although I will say there might be some minimal, just kind of adjustments, and also removing maybe some like native wildlife in that area, or native plants in that area. I just wanted to give a little heads up about that, though.
Are you replacing, you said you're going to put it beside it. I assume it's to the left on this picture. 'Cause
Yes,
obviously
yeah, it's going to be moved slightly to the left.
And you've got, what, how wide is this, 3 feet?
It is about
32.
yeah. If you can see on the
Oh, yeah,
exhibit
yeah,
6,
yeah, yeah.
there's the dimensions in there, and that's just for one kind of module, and there's going to be 6 of them.
You don't have any
total.
pictures as to what's beside that?
What's beside?
Oh, this is the
current.
old one.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to how much vegetation's involved when you put it beside it.
There is some vegetation because that kind of pathway has definitely gotten overgrown over the times. Like I have to physically duck down under a couple of tree branches in order to actually go through it. But yeah, there would be like there is a lot of kind of plants there.
I walked the site with Jackson a few weeks ago, and there is vegetation. It's all very low shrubbery and maybe, I don't know, I'd say 3 to 5 1-inch trees, but besides that, it's all very, very small and rather sparsely vegetated for.
If you remove the entire deck first, what's underneath there? Is it just muddy? Or is it-
I haven't removed the parts of the bridge yet, but
I'm just curious as to whether if you just remove the bridge,
the
put it back down in the same spot, how bad are we going to inconvenience people trying to walk through there?
so it would definitely have to be like incorporated like with the level changes because it's definitely like off the ground a little bit. So I would have to probably adjust it. But as it stands right now, it's up like two like either tree trunks or telephone poles that have like pretty much rotted away.
On top of it.
But on like
I mean,
just
underneath it, yeah.
underneath it, yeah. But the area itself, last time that I checked, it was kind of dryish mud. But as it like gets wet and like into the winter and all that, it starts to get like very muddy. So it would just have to be off the ground.
I
in
guess
order
as
to
long
work.
as you're saying there's not a lot of vegetation there, that valuable vegetation that we,
Yeah, it's not dense.
it'll be replaced when,
I think it would grow back just fine where the old would in about a year.
Oh,
It has to move a little bit at that end.
okay, yeah.
no, I get that.
So I got a picture. Thanks to my
okay,
father. If you want to see. So this is obviously the completely other side of it. So
Oh, yeah.
the picture with the tree over there
Yeah.
is right there. So it would just be slightly changed a little, but
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
try and
I
stay
think you got plenty of
stick
room
to the
there,
path,
yeah, okay, all right. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Sorry if I cut anybody off. You're going to be bringing it in sections so that you don't have to use vehicles. So does that mean it looks like it'd still be pretty heavy?
Yeah, so I would definitely be requiring some help of my troop, and putting some of especially the younger kids who are super eager to help with anything, to work, and we would definitely have to shuttle because I live over at Mackenzie, so I would just need to load up the sections like into my truck and then drive them over to like the start of the
Big
trail.
cul-de-sac there.
Yeah, the little cul-de-sac. And then just get a couple of scouts to just like manually carry it. And
And how are you attaching the two sections, or the multiple sections together?
I
Are they gonna be bolted or just kind of?
I'm thinking that they are probably going to be bolted. They're probably there's a corner angle bracket, which we're probably going to just kind of bolt them together,
Okay.
just to make it convenient, because I don't think we can use wooden dowels like a bunk bed, just piecing them together.
This is more just out of curiosity, but, because you mentioned that's for the community benefit, do you have any sense of the, like, usage of that trail? I know from being in town that it does get used a lot.
It gets. I can see on the trail, especially across the field, that's been used a lot by like a lot of people, because there's like a clear trail, and then in the spring, like it all like starts to grow over again, and then people keep making that same trail, and I just find it cool, kind of to see how many people use that, especially for fishing derbies.
Especially for dog walkers.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
of the biggest problems over there.
Anything else? Ava?
Any more questions?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Fantastic idea.
We need all the help we can in maintaining stuff like that, so.
So do we want to make a formal vote to accept the project and back it to our,
Oh, I have that one question.
oh,
Once you get this built and put together, what are you going to do with the old one?
Probably destroy it, and just try and set, like especially the bases. Definitely remove all the screws and all the knickknacks that are gonna do it, and probably let nature take its course for some of it, because all of it has pretty much grown into the bridge already. Well, unless if
You're
you,
removing the old bridge.
yeah, I'm removing the old bridge just in general.
Yeah.
but it's probably going to be hard to get like the bases out.
Oh,
we can
sitting up.
yeah, the bases out. Like the planks on the bridge, we would definitely like remove and probably bring it to somewhere to dispose. That's not the trail, but I'm pretty sure they're either really big trees, like really big dead trees, as the supports or telephone poles. Depending on the answer, we will take the necessary actions to make sure that it doesn't disrupt any
Not a safety
wildlife.
Yeah,
hazard.
just as long as it's not a tripping hazard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Make a proposal to accept the project?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you very much, Jackson.
Thank you so much for your time.
Lots of luck with it.
And if you could just keep us abreast as you, when you
Yep.
finish, or at major stages, if you,
Okay.
whatever, even if it's just a note to
Okay.
Greg.
All right. Yep. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on how long. Do you guys want to keep those packets?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you need them for your.
I don't need them. I already got enough copies.
Okay, all right.
More than enough copies. All right. Thank
Okay.
you guys so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson.
Okay. Being 7:05 PM pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, October 6, 2025, at 7:05 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, and/or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Jeff and Lori Rudd for the construction of an addition on a single-family home with associated septic system at 6 Allens Way, Assessors Map 119, Parcel 42. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection, the Conservation Office at Town Hall. Mr. Gray.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. For the record, my name's Cameron Gray, and I'm with Bay Colony Group. And I'm here on behalf of our client for our project at 6 Allens Way. If I could share my screen, I'll put up the plan that we prepared for everyone. So Allens Way is located off of Prospect Street, and this property, 6 Allens Way, is located at the end of the road. So this property has been previously developed and contains an existing single-family home, along with the associated driveway, yard area, and utilities. So you can see in the eastern portion of the site, the Cocasset Brook runs along the eastern property line. And due to the size of the parcel, it's located almost entirely within the riverfront area. So this is the 200-foot riverfront area up at on the left side of the plan. And there's also an associated wetland with the Cocasset Brook. And I have the 25-foot no disturb and also the 100-foot buffer. So we're proposing the construction of an addition along the western side of the existing house. So the addition will be approximately 722 square feet. That's the footprint, and it will consist of an additional bedroom for the parcel. So due to the construction, approximately 2,750 square feet of riverfront area will be disturbed, and 1,200 square feet of buffer zone will be disturbed. So this addition is lying entirely within the riverfront area as well as the 100-foot buffer zone. So the addition will sit no closer than 54 feet to the river and 44 feet to the wetlands. And due to the location of the existing septic system, as well as the additional bedroom added to the property, we will need to reconstruct the septic system. So you can see the septic field just underneath the addition here. It consists of 4 concrete chambers. So to address this, we're proposing the use of an innovative and alternative system due to the close proximity to the resource areas at this site. So since we're within the riverfront area under the Wetlands Protection Act, this project qualifies as a redevelopment as it involves the expansion of an existing structure within a previously developed riverfront area. So in order to comply with these regulations, we're proposing a mitigation area in the southeast portion of the property. So you can see behind the shed, and it extends along the property line and up along the driveway. So we're proposing just shrubs and conservation mix within that area. And then access to the site will take place over Allen's Way, and we're proposing a construction entrance, so it'll just be crushed stone spread. And then the erosion control will consist of a silt sock installed along the limits of work up near the addition. So Craig, Mr. Bodie, and I were able to go out to this site last week, and we had a discussion about the project, and they raised, Mr. Bodie would like us, we originally had the erosion control going down to the bottom of the slope to the north of the existing home, and I raised it up closer to the addition, so that way I won't have any runoff going down that slope and catching speed before it hits the erosion control. And when we were over looking at the mitigation area, it is also apparent that water comes down pretty fast on the driveway. So I installed an additional erosion control, just a silt sock right at the bottom of the driveway to prevent water just rushing down there and washing out anything that we plant. And then other than that, those were the only changes that I made to the plan thus far. And that's about it.
One thing, I know you just said to put a silt sock at the bottom of the driveway. I was thinking of something more permanent to catch the runoff and snow runoff, rain, whatever, from going down into that area.
Okay.
So can you put something of a permanent, not a structure necessarily, but maybe some riprap or something to
Okay.
stop the flow from going down there? Because that's going to be delicate down there for a while the restoration work is being done.
What's the condition of that area that will be the mitigation area right now? Is it
So
just-
currently it's like a little cleared area. He has like a little fire pit in there as well as just debris from the yard, and I think it looked like an old fence in there. So all that will be cleaned up, and then they can go in there and do their plantings.
What's on the slope behind the house now?
Behind the house?
Yes.
So you can kind of see the wood line there. I can zoom in a little bit.
There's a patio in there, right?
Yeah. Patio over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is all
so-
patio,
Yeah.
basically,
Oh, okay, okay.
all the way across.
Yeah, there's a patio with a retaining wall, and then after that, it drops off pretty severely down to the river, and it's really not disturbed. Their backyard's pretty limited.
So look, it's a natural tree growth in
Yeah.
that area there.
Yes.
We worked with a neighbor
Yeah,
some years ago.
I think they were,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
them. It had the trees that they wanted to take down because it
Yeah.
was in danger. They were pine trees like 100 feet.
Yeah.
One of them was right up next to the porch.
yeah.
Another one was right next to the bedroom. So they're a little scared.
Yeah, posing a hazard.
Any-
Oh, awesome.
anything else?
No, that looks good to
Craig,
me.
you want to give your 2 cents? Our blessings?
I think I don't have too many, or I don't have any additional concerns other than what were expressed on the site visit about the erosion control. I agree with the permanent erosion barrier at the base of the driveway. I think that'd be great. And with those addressed, I don't have anything to add.
With it being the riverfront, right, that mitigation area has to be a certain size compared to what they're disturbing, is that
Yeah,
right? I'm assuming that
Right.
those numbers work out.
Yes, based off of, I don't remember them up right now.
No, that's
but-
fine. I don't either, obviously.
Might as well explain.
Yeah, so for the mitigation, we have to do a 2-to-1, so we're disturbing. I have a little table there. I think it was 722 square feet, so 2-to-1, we have to do
Just over 14.
1,444 square feet, and we're proposing 1,456 square feet.
Thanks.
It just go a step further here. Explain about the riverfront and the percentage that you can disturb versus areas that are disturbed, so that we have a clear understanding.
So with the riverfront area, since this is an existing parcel and it's been previously disturbed, it's disturbed beyond the limits that David's talking about. So this lot is 36,000 square feet, so we can only disturb 10% of that, so it'd be 3,600 square feet, and we're well beyond that limit just based off of the existing impervious here, so the building as well as the driveway. So this additional work, even though it's in a yarded and grassed area, it's still, it's not considered degraded because it has topsoil, so that's why we need to do this mitigation area to basically restore the riverfront area in terms of the regulations.
You know, one thing that has worked about the end of that driveway, sometimes they'll dig it, this is sandy soil here, if I recall.
Yes, it's
This whole
very
thing
nice.
is all sand and gravel, but they could have a trench filled with stone, so it goes, instead of channeling it, it goes right into it
Okay,
and filters down. Even in the winter, it can do that. So that might be an idea you might want to look into.
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Trench at the bottom.
anything else?
I assume it's all lawn right to the river, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, not to the, in the front of the
Behind the
house,
hu-
it's
no,
lawn.
behind
And
the house?
Behind is, no, it's
It's all
not
wooden.
lawn. There's only a,
It is wooded,
it's a little patio area just in here, and then it just drops off. It's much too steep for a lawn.
yeah, that is, I can see that now, I didn't look at the grade.
So all the lawn is in the front of the house.
Okay,
Somebody want to make a motion?
make a motion to close the hearing for 1576, whoops, sorry, 157663.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Have you got your standard order of conditions?
I do.
Okay.
So I would make a motion to approve it and adding the condition about the driveway. So Craig can update it on his special conditions, but we can sign it tonight.
And refer to the revised plan.
Yeah, that's listed in here already,
Good.
unless they revise it again with the driveway. But,
Yeah.
So make a motion for the order of conditions as revised.
So I make a motion to approve the order of conditions as revised with the changes to the driveway.
Second?
I'll make it
Discussion?
sound good.
Just one question. Does it have in this order contacting the conservation agent before any work is done?
That's part of the special conditions. This
It
is
is?
like the boilerplate conditions, and then Craig always writes up the special conditions that's attached to it that has all of that information.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. That's going around.
Did you change that section? It was either or.
Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, October 6, 2025, at 7:10 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, and or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by the Mill Street Preserve LP for the clearing and grading with the site preparation of the lot at 12 Goodwin Drive, Assessors Map 52, Parcel 0102. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection at the Conservation Office, Town Hall. Mr. Gray, you're up again.
Good evening again. Again, for the record, my name's Cameron Gray. If I could share my screen, I'll put up the plan that the commission has. So 12 Goodwin is located within the Lawson Farm subdivision and is listed as Lot 16 on the definitive plan. So this will be the third property on the left after the intersection with Conway. So the first two houses are already built, and then this is the third one that's currently getting underway. So we're proposing the construction of a single-family home along with the associated driveway, yard, and septic system. The proposed home, driveway, and septic system do not lie within the 100-foot buffer zone, but the clearing and grading in the rear of the lot will. So construction of the home outside of the buffer zone has already begun. Again, me, Craig, and Mr. Bodie went on a site walk last week, and when we were out there, they had the footings and the foundation hole, and looks like they're getting ready to put up the walls. So we anticipate about 14,575 square feet of buffer zone will be altered due to the clearing and grading at the back of the parcel. No work will take place within the 25-foot no disturb, and the grading and clearing will take place no closer than 28 feet to the wetlands. Erosion control for this project will consist of a silt sock, and while we were out on our site walk, Craig brought up a point that he would like to have a silt fence installed in addition to the silt sock. So I prepared a revised plan and submitted to the commission that just specifies the silt fence for the erosion control. And I also updated it to this show a detail on the plan.
Okay, while we're out there, as you notice, the wood chip pile is right on the 25-foot fence.
Yeah.
Has that come out yet, or?
I don't believe it's come out yet, but it will. Or it was right on the 100-foot fence, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
100, okay,
Yeah.
all right. But that's the first thing I'd like to see done before anything else takes place.
Okay.
So have they started clearing the backyard?
No, so they haven't started clearing the backyard. There's currently an orange construction fence installed along the 100-foot buffer.
Okay.
So that way, none of the work out front is going beyond their limits into the buffer zone.
Okay.
Is the lawn going in the back?
Yes, and so we're proposing lawn area. So you can kind of see on our plan, the level area up top will consist of lawn, and then it'll slope down to the existing grade.
They're not, by any chance, putting plantings or anything along the, right before the slope?
No, we don't have anything proposed currently.
Because that's a pretty steep
Yeah, that's real
slope
steep.
there.
Yeah, it's at 3-to-1 I show in the back.
I mean, generally, when there's a steep slope, you want to have more of a buffer zone in there.
I'd like to see something more that's gonna grab and hold on to the soil than just lawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Experience number 18. before any
Oh, yeah.
tree clearing, anything is done in the backyard, there'll be a on-site meeting with the agent and or even with one of the commission members with whoever's going to do that work and make it real clear what can't be done.
Okay.
We get that experience. And that, I'm not, 18 still hasn't been restored.
Yeah, I believe that's usually in the order of conditions now.
I just want to make it clear. It
Okay.
should be bold. And then another thing is that because the soil is probably going to be bare during the wintertime, I think we should have some type of after they clear it, there'd be something in the back there where the water's running down from the front to slow it up, so it doesn't rip out the fill, topsoil.
Yeah,
I mean, again, 18 Goodwin Drive, you know, the water just came pouring on that slope and just, you know, was ripping it out and causing erosion on the other side of the property line.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, so I can't speak to the construction, so I'm not sure how soon he's got to be bringing in fill after he clears it. But if he is bringing in fill, we could, I guess, make a note to him that he needs to stabilize that so that way it's not washing out. So however he wants to do that, whether it's spreading hay or just putting some type of, I'm not sure what he would use to stabilize it.
Could even be silt socks every, I don't know what the distance is, but
layered.
every 15 feet or something, so water
Yeah.
can't pick up speed.
Okay,
And 18 Goodwin, they had it like that, so water to go around like that.
Yeah.
Slow it down. So,
Has the curbing been put in front of this house yet?
I don't believe so. So they've been kind of installing the curbing in front of the houses that are currently complete, and the ones that are under construction, they've been leaving the curbing out so that way it's not destroyed by any machinery that's got to be going in and out of here.
All right. But that was one of the problems at 18 was.
Yeah, everything's coming down the hill and just blowing it out.
so before, when the fill is coming in, again, another meeting to, you know, get an understanding what to do or not to do.
Okay,
And whoever's doing it, let them explain it to Craig and or whoever else wants to go out there.
okay.
That, oh, sorry, go ahead.
We just want to be friendly neighbors.
That steep slope, is that existing now, or that's the result of the,
So
Meeting that's gonna
it
happen.
slopes off definitely out back, but we're proposing, it's just gotta be a more concentrated, steeper slope in order to give them a little bit of a level yard before it slopes off down to the existing grade.
You do riprap there, or some plantings, or something?
yeah,
to
like I'd
hold the
rather
soil?
just see the lawn go to the top of that
Yeah.
steep, and then leave either I don't know what it looks like, the existing vegetation that's there, or,
Well, there won't be, because they're redisturbed, that's all being.
Yeah.
oh, because they have to, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all new.
Yeah, to like put in, yeah, like blueberry bushes, or,
Yeah, either
Okay.
shrubs or riprap, or, I mean, if they want shrubs, I think that would be better, but
Okay,
better looking too for everybody.
yeah.
There's something to hold that soil, because that is, we've seen before, it's a nasty slope.
And that'd be more natural, especially, you know, growing into that slope. It'll give a future buffer area.
And David, maybe I can't remember, does this back up to the trail?
Yes, yes.
It's gonna end up washing out the trail if it's
Yes.
too. Also, those blueberry bushes will give like it'll make it not feel like people are walking through their backyard.
yeah.
It's a benefit to everyone.
Bob, are we, with any consistency, trying to request markers for 25-foot no disturb zone, stone markers?
We have been.
We could.
Yes, we should.
Even if it's just 3 of them, one on each
Yeah.
end and then one in the middle or something,
Yeah.
Okay,
not to go crazy. We've just had too many.
Yeah, and once they sell it,
And it
then the people are
continues,
gonna
yeah.
move in and just.
Nobody cares. Yeah. So we prefer the ones that are a little more difficult to move.
Yep, just a concrete band sticking up with a sign on it. Okay.
Anything else?
Good?
Craig, anything else? Do you want to wait till we get the revised before we close it, or do you want to? I think we should get that wood chips out before we close it.
I think that, nothing should begin until the wood chips are out of there. There is going to be some time before the next meeting
Meeting,
potentially,
yeah.
so however you guys want to handle that, if that's part of the special conditions that I inspect before anything, or if it's we would wait to close until that.
Plus, there should be a notation about having plantings on the steep.
Yeah. Well, he's
Well,
adding that to, the
Right.
so we get in a revised plan.
Yeah, get a revised plan.
Yeah.
I would think, given the lack of meetings, that we,
Hmm?
I said, I would think, given the lack of meetings, that we close it with the stipulations that we've spoken
Yeah.
about. For efficiencies, and so these guys.
Because we're not meeting in, what's our next one?
November 3rd,
Wow, okay.
Town meeting.
Yeah, town meeting comes in.
town meeting's on the 27th, so we can't have a meeting that night.
Yeah. So, okay. I'll go along with closing it with those stipulations.
Make a proposal to close the hearing on DEP 157664.
Second?
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
I should modify, I guess, with the stipulated changes that we discussed.
Well, no, you just
Just
closed the
close the
public
hearing.
hearing.
Oh,
Now you have
So
to
you
do
don't
it.
Now
have to
then
change
with
it, you
the-
can just do it, yeah.
Now then, the order of conditions.
You can endorse the order of conditions with the,
With those changes.
yeah, with the changes as discussed, to be added to the special conditions.
Tell me again. Want to do
Okay,
another?
Sign the order of conditions with the
Oh.
additional
Oh, with the
provisions.
addition, okay. I
And a revised plan.
propose we sign the order with the additional provisions and, what'd you add?
Revised plan.
The revised plan, yeah.
Second.
Discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? All righty. Okay. Okay. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, October 6, 2025, at 7:15 p.m. in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, and or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Lake Jake Development for the construction of a two-family home with the associated grading utilities at 64 Beach Street, Assessor's Map, what is it? 019, Parcel 2, portion of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection at the Conservation Office at Town Hall. I will, at this time, make a statement that it's for a single-family home only. So, Mr. Gray.
Hello again, everyone. For the record, my name is Cameron Gregg. Again, we apologize about that. It is a single-family home. If I could share my screen, I'll put up the plan that the commission has. So 64 Beach Street is an existing parcel located on the western side of Beach Street. It's approximately 950 feet south of the intersection with Edwards Road. The parcel is currently undeveloped and consists of a wooded area. It is bordered by single-family homes to the north and the south, and the Neponset Reservoir to the northwest. So in association with the Neponset Reservoir, there is wetlands as well as bordering land subject to flooding and bank located in the western portion of the site. So we're proposing the construction of a single-family home along with the associated driveway, yard area, and utilities, as well as a dock. So the work within the buffer zone includes a portion of the house as well as the driveway and all the area within the backyard. So we anticipate about 13,724 square feet of buffer zone being altered due to construction. So the home will sit no closer than 66 feet to the wetlands at its closest point. The pool area will sit no closer than 47 feet, and the grading and clearing will take place no closer than 26 feet. So no work is proposed within that 25-foot no disturbed, aside from a 5-foot wide access path down to the dock. So for the dock, we're proposing just a floating dock with aluminum decking, and it will be installed using the sleeve and piling system. So we anticipate the dock will be installed year-round, so this will allow it to fluctuate with the rising and lowering of the water. So we've also included a maintenance area, which we've done on past projects. That's just a 6-foot by 10-foot area in case the dock needs to be pulled out for maintenance, or if it would like to be removed for the winter. So erosion control for this project will consist of a construction entrance off of Beach Street. That will just consist of a crushed stone entrance, as well as silt sock installed around the perimeter of the site. And we've also gone in, and after the 100-foot buffer zone at the limited clearing, we'll be installing a 100-foot an orange construction fence along that limited clearing out of the 100-foot buffer zone. So that way we stay within our limit of work.
Can you just explain the limit of clearing on that plan?
Yep. So I'll just start right over here on the right side. So you can see the dash and X marks.
Yep.
So that's just the limited clearing marked by the orange construction fence up to the 100-foot buffer zone, which is that dashed line. And after that, it will consist of silt sock. And again, we went out on a site walk last week, and Craig raised concerns about the runoff coming off of this site. So we'll also be installing a silt fence in addition to that silt sock. So the erosion control will go around, and then I show it going down towards the dock, and it'll pick up on the other side, come up, and then goes back up, and then changes over again to that, the dash and X line, which is just the orange construction fence.
So they're going to put the silt sock and fence in before they clear? Or put the construction fencing up, the limits of construction?
So how we usually do it is we have the limited clearing staked out there currently, and the guys will go in there and pull everything down before we install the erosion control, so that way they're not destroying it as they're doing that work. And then before they go in and grub and remove stumps, we'll go in and install the silt sock as well as the silt fence.
Okay.
And then the last thing I just wanted to mention was that we also show plantings located at the back of the property. And this is just, we weren't asked to do this. This is just provides an additional buffer area, we thought, and we show a mixture of shrubs and trees planted, and Craig had requested that we put a planting plan or just a planting table on this the plan, so we have that just shows the quantities and the type of plantings we're proposing.
How deep you gonna make the mulch for the plantings? Because that is pure gravel,
Yeah.
brown gravel. That water would just go zipping right through.
I mean, I don't specify how thick it's gonna be, but I could put that on there just so that way we're all on the same page. So you think 6 inches or?
Oh, 6 won't be enough. No. Not if you're planting trees and you want them to survive before the deer eat them. Are you gonna be saving some of the topsoil?
Yeah, so the topsoil, we're gonna retain on site and use as much of it as we can. But you can see the topography of this site, it goes up pretty significantly, so we're gonna be knocking down a pretty big knoll out here. And again, the topography on this site's, it's pretty crazy. So we're gonna be,
It's not pretty, it's very crazy.
yeah. I'm sure Mr. Bodie told you, but I doubted if he could go up the hill out there, considering how large it was, but he proved me wrong.
Of course you did.
Thank you for your concern, Howard.
But, yeah, we're gonna be trying to use as much material on site as we can, but we do anticipate we're gonna have to remove some material.
And I assume that steepness and the placement of the septic is why it can't be pulled further.
Yeah, so, yeah, really, it's a lot of reshaping this lot, so we're kind of pushing the dirt out towards the roadway in order for him to get to the subgrade out back. And we're kind of retaining that knoll out front just to act as a privacy and just limit the amount of work that we're doing in the area. But yeah, we'll be definitely removing some soil from the site.
Yeah. Where's the existing, okay. Yeah, it drops off about where I think about where the patio is. Is that where the big hole is that you're?
Yeah, so you can see right at the front right corner of the house is the top of that knoll. So that's where we were standing the other day on our site walk.
Yeah.
And then, so you're up at 312 there, and we're looking down at a hole at 278. So it's a significant drop, and it drops off really fast. So Don actually wasn't able to get back there with his machine, so we were limited to where we could actually dig currently without disturbing the site.
Save some of the topsoil and make a deeper trench for the plantings if you want them to survive.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna be out there watering with a hose. Somebody will.
I will.
I do like that you're proactive about the plantings, though.
Thank you.
Now, the one thing that I don't understand is that you got a 5-foot wide path going down to the future ramp and dock, but yet you got limits of clearing wider than 5.
Yeah, so I show it wider than 5. It's about a 10-foot opening, so that way they can get in there and do the work in order to get the path in there and clear any just small brushes or anything that could overgrow into that path. And also, I want to show that limit of clearing and the erosion control, so that way we won't have an issue down the road with them clearing beyond their limits.
They're doing that clearing with equipment as opposed to by hand?
So I think in that area, in the big area of the site, it'll be equipment, but down there, I wouldn't assume it's gotta be heavy equipment going in there. It's much too small.
It's not gonna be heavy?
No, no heavy equipment in there.
Because usually we require nothing but hand within the 25-foot.
Okay.
And also, if you can avoid cutting any trees, because it's in a no-cut, disturb 25-foot area, like, you know, to try to keep it to the 5-foot width, not like Eisenhower Drive.
Yeah, no, so when we were out on the site, we thought that this was the best area for it. It kind of, the slope mellows out here, and it's a little bit of a clearing, so we won't be going in there and having to drop. It's the path of least resistance, we thought, out there.
Good.
It's what we thought before.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I think one thing is definitely contacting the Conservation Agent and Animal Commission member to, you know, before it starts. definitely down where they're gonna go to the water, definitely walking it and making sure that whoever's doing the work, there's an understanding.
Okay.
We don't want mistakes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not just about trees, it's about clearing anything.
Yeah, it's clearing in the no-touch zone.
Yeah,
So you
no, I
keep a
understand.
minimum as much as you can. Oh, does the state have something to say? DEP?
The DEP suggested that a Title 91 license may be required for the Neponset Reservoir. The Neponset Reservoir is not under the jurisdiction of Title 91, so that license is not required for it. Chapter 91. Ooh, thank you.
Why is
Apologies.
that?
Because the Neponset Reservoir is dammed and is not the
man-made.
original footprint of the water body.
Gotcha.
In other words, it's not a great pond.
Oh, no.
You can't have a great pond in a dammed-up water body, but only that area where, on the old
Original
maps.
pond was.
Yeah, that's the only place that would.
Makes sense. Okay.
Are there benefits to having it be a permanent dock or over a removable dock, or is it not make that much difference impact-wise?
Yeah, is there a reason why it's permanent versus seasonal?
So usually we leave it up to the client, but it's just comes down to, it's a lot of work to be pulling the dock in and out of the water. So we anticipate that people will, if they can, they're going to leave them in year round.
How long is that? That's pretty, that's out there quite a ways. Is that trying to get to the deeper water?
I believe so. Yeah, I forget off the top of my head how long these sections are, but I just showed,
So that would be a lot to be bringing in every year.
yeah, it's just it's a dock system that is in sections, so they can easily, so you can remove the sections and then easily be able to handle it rather than just one big long section there.
But you're
I
gonna have
think the
permanent.
water level out in that area is pretty shallow, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
But you are having permanent pipes
Yeah, so we'll do
It
the
is
piling
standard.
and sleeves, that way.
made to come out. It's just, talking about put it, install it.
Yeah, so they'll use, I think it's augers just to get down to the lake bed, and then, the dock can fluctuate with the rising and lowering water.
Is it a company that does that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't said my name. Don Triani, Jake Development. There is. I've looked into a few. I'm not real familiar with it, but I've done a little research, and they come out and do the whole thing. So,
On Eisenhower, you provided detailed information of the dock, the ramp, what's gonna go in there. It's not on this plan. So can you provide that information?
Yep, no problem.
And there's no bordering vegetated wetlands in this area. It's just a bank.
So she did flag some wetlands, but it's sporadic. It's off of, so you can kind of see it.
A3,
Yeah.
A2.
And then there's another little one that bumps out here.
If you were there, you would understand why, David.
Yes, it's
Yes, I understand
very,
that.
very steep down to the water.
I was there today.
Oh, you were
So-
there today? Okay. Yeah, it's. Anything else?
Good.
You all said, David?
Yeah, I just, he provides that additional information. You got the plants, the restoration,
Plants in there, I didn't have to
mitigation,
ask for 'em.
it's all listed.
Is this a public hearing? Are citizens allowed? Is there any citizen speak in this?
Oh, there's an abutter on Zoom.
What's that?
There's an abutter on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Danny Swenson. I didn't know if there was any citizen speak portion on your agenda.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Now a good time.
Good.
Thank you. My name is Denny Swenson. My family and I own 70 Beach
you
Street.
speak up just
We're
a
one of
little
the
bit louder,
abutters
please?
right next door.
Can you speak a little louder?
Sure. My name is Denny Swenson. My family and I own 70 Beach Street. We're one of the abutters to 64 Beach Street. I wanted to thank the conservation members and their staff.
Yeah.
I recognize this board is made up of thoughtful residents who volunteer their time. I thank you for your service. My dad built our house in 1965. I grew up in this house. My mother lived here in this house her whole adult life. I hope to retire here one day, or I hope my daughter might get to live there. But in the meantime, I've rented the house out to a lovely family as I use their rent to pay back the cost of renovating our house 10 years back. This lot at 64 Beach Street next to mine has not been built in the last 60 years that our house has been in our hands, basically because, as you noted, it's two very, very steep hills. So from my property, I'm looking way up to this property and where they're talking about putting the house. I think the foundation, if you put it there now, would be well over my rooftop. I'd really like to, better understand this. I've seen the picture, but I don't really have the scale, how it's all going to work. I'd love to go on a site walk. I heard there was one last week, but I heard about it after the fact. I don't know if there will be a public site walk. It's a fully wooded lot, as I'm sure those of you who walked it can see. It's full of oak trees. I do want to understand the tree removal. The oak tree root systems are incredible, and they are drinking up so much water right now that if you clear them all out, especially at the top of the hill, I'm downslope, concerned about that. Concerned about the stormwater plan. My hope and expectation would be that there would be an independent peer review, because this is a special area, and it's a very unique site with two very steep hills. And the Neponset Reservoir is also downslope, as those of you who walk the site can see. I do want to understand the cut and fill. In the presentation, I understand they're talking about cutting a lot, which means they're probably taking a lot of the trees down. And I am, concerned about the water and erosion control, sitting down slope. The silt fencing, what happens after the silt fencing? Are they going to put shrubs in after the fact, or what's going to happen about that? I just really want to avoid the mulch and erosion coming down onto my property, or going into the reservoir. I have a historic stone wall along my side of the property line, and I want to ensure that that's protected from the trees falling. I got to tell you, in the 60 years that I've been there, right now, we have a tree fallen from that property over our stone wall. I must see 2 or 3 of them a year, just because there are so many trees. So it is something I am very concerned about. So I'd like to understand any landscape screening as well, because it's a very big change. My request is that the town takes its time and, honors the Wetland Protection Act, as these rules are there to protect the environment, wetlands, the Neponset Reservoir. So I do hope, in the spirit of neighborliness and community, that we honor our environment and be thoughtful about development. Let's grant waivers when they respect the environment and serve the community. I appreciate your consideration. I'm available by email at denny@denswen.com. If anyone would like to talk to me about this, I would love to go on a site walk if there is one in the near future. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you. Mr. Gray, would you like to answer some of her questions?
Yeah, so if I could share my plan again, so that way we're all on the same page. Okay, so 70B Street is on the northern side of the property here. So currently, the knoll that runs off towards that property is pretty significant. I assume a significant amount of water is going that way. We're gonna be knocking down that knoll, so it'll be reducing some of the water that's going that way, and we're actually directing it back towards ourselves. And also, we could connect offline, and we'd be happy to do a sidewalk out there, and just be anything we could go moving forward, but we stayed off that northern property line in order to try and reduce the amount of disturbance that we're gonna be doing in this area, and try and keep our footprint as small as we can, given the topography of the site.
She mentioned the rock wall. Is that, does that show on your plan?
I don't have a rock wall shown on my plan. If it, is it installed along the property line, would you know?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so we shouldn't be anywhere near the rock wall. I don't have an exact dimension off the property line, but you can see from our plan where, not that. Yeah, so we're about 30 feet, I would say, away from that rock wall along the property line.
So one of the first things that I did when we went out there was walk that property line. So if you're standing, okay, let's say if you're standing where the septic tank is,
Okay,
so if you're looking out to Beach Street, that hill is to your left, roughly. I walked up that hill where you were standing, and then down the other side, and I believe I put ribbons in the tree, which is probably a good 30 to 40 feet from the property line, and I know the stone wall that she's talking about. So that slope on their side will stay there, but we're cutting the slope on our side, whoops, to bring the water back towards us.
okay.
So it won't, nothing on the front of this lot will go, it will have to go up 15 to 20 feet to increase any water to go to that property. And I'm also always around, could do a site walk also.
Yeah, you could tell on the plan in here that the natural slope is here with the trees on it, and you're cutting actually in, and the water will go this way. So that you can see. The other part, though, just below the leaching field, that's gonna be steep. And even though it's pure gravel, if it gets any type of topsoil in there, that could be washing out. You have nothing at the bottom of that. The 288 line,
Yeah,
you have no type of controls for that. So you don't lose that slope.
so, yeah, it actually goes up from that 288, and then it'll drop back down. So it goes up to 296, I believe. So the idea is that it will go down that slope, and then it gets conveyed around the property out to the back.
I would put something there at the bottom of the proposed 288.
Okay.
So you're gonna have just let it grow back naturally, used in the forest, topsoil, duff, A and B layers, spread out over it, and it's gonna be totally open? Or you plan to plant something?
On the slope that's going up,
Yes.
Yeah, the 288 up to the 296 and then back down to the 286. You got a peak there.
yeah, so we will have to put something to hold that. In the past, we've used the big organic mulch that we get when we tub grind all those stumps, and that's what we'll be doing on this, because it's heavy. So we could use that on there with some ground cover too. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to control that, otherwise it's gonna be coming down onto our front yard there, well, my front yard.
And once the construction's completed, is that grass that's going to go in on those slopes to stabilize it there, or?
Probably not. I would say more mulch and low-lying, low shrubs that'll hold that.
Like a ground
I don't want to
cover
cut that, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd use a natural seed mix for,
There's a conservation mix that they have out there, that at least for the first two years, while you're out the ground cover, shrubs slowly take over if the deer don't eat them.
But you're talking about having the bark mulch or the stub mulch, and then just putting in shrubs, no lawn.
Yeah, I'd rather not have a lawn on there. It would be so difficult to mow that, and so difficult to keep up with that.
So there's no grass.
Yeah.
yeah, well, with
Which
it,
I'm fine with if you do enough of those to stabilize it.
yeah. But I think the natural mix would probably adhere on that. I don't know. Not
Yeah,
that it has-
I'm not saying that, but that's not his intent. That's not what he's saying to us.
Well, what I thought he'd say is not a lawn grass, but,
No,
More like
okay.
a meadow?
no,
Yeah.
you're talking just shavings and then plants.
If enough of the low shrubs will hold the bank, that's the key.
So,
Because it's just no, you look at that slope, we're not gonna be able to mow in,
and all I'm saying, if he's not gonna put grass in there,
yeah,
you need to increase the number of shrubs you're gonna put in there
Yeah.
to make sure it retains them.
But conservation seed mix, plastered onto that, at least give you some cover for 2 years if it doesn't burn out. That's another problem. But by using the
We're willing to
natural
do it.
soils there, the duff, it's mixing it with your stuff grindings, you're gonna have natural dormant seeds waking up and hopefully filling in for the shrubs and the or future trees.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where we are. We're just doing shrubs
shrubs and,
and the butt mulch.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. I mean, as long as we get a good number of the shrubs in there.
To stabilize it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, to keep it stabilized, right.
And just for the record, this is a conversation of ideas because it's outside the 100-foot bubble.
Can I ask one more question?
Sorry?
Can I ask one more question? You know how you have a border around and then it turns to X's along my property? I was wondering if you could continue what you were doing all the way through to the front, like all the way, instead of stopping at my property. So the erosion control that you were doing around where it says 302, 300, 298, so you're doing one thing and then it's changing to, an orange silk fence there. But yet that's like really where there's some clear density drop.
But I don't believe he's doing anything in that area. Right? The orange fencing that you have the X's is the limit of work.
Yes.
Right.
So
But you're protecting where you have the solid line, you're protecting everything under that by putting that there. So you're not protecting on this side as much. You're putting an orange silk fence, but is that as much protection as what you're doing further back?
No, so it'll just act as our limit of clearing and prevent any work going beyond our limit of work. So you would like to see a silt sock essentially installed.
We could do self-fence.
Yeah, we could do a silt fence in order to, so rather than the orange construction fence, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with, it's just has all the holes in it. We could do a silt fence, and that's just a mesh material that it allows water to go through it, but it will prevent any silt from running off the property and going over towards you.
And what are you doing just behind that, the solid line? What are you doing there?
So that's a silt sock and a silt fence.
So the difference is that the X's are no sock. They're both silt fences, but this part has a silt sock and the front doesn't. Is that the
So
difference?
the X's are different than the erosion control. It's just an orange construction fence, so it wouldn't slow any runoff down or anything like that. It would just act as a physical barrier to prevent us going beyond our limits.
So where those
I-
exits start, that's outside the 100-foot buffer zone, so that's no longer in the Conservation Commission's jurisdiction.
Okay.
Up to a point.
But they're not doing anything beyond the X's going further, so there's no reason to, they're not touching the land.
I understand that, but they are doing work. They're cutting earth and trees and disturbing the land uphill. So the water is going to wash all that construction down slope. So I just feel like I'm not getting much protection there. But if the town advises me, I will take it to the next step, I imagine, which would be the planning board or what have you. I'll follow the town's advice on that, if this isn't the proper venue.
Well, it seemed like they were willing to put in a silt fence, which is,
I'll take a silt fence, but I'd like to get whatever protection I can but I'll take a silt fence.
Just to explain, where the sock and the fence is going to go in eventually, you're going to put up limits of construction fencing on the outside where that's going to go, and then they'll come in and do the clearing, and then they'll put the silt sock and fence after that, right?
Correct.
And then after that, he inspects it. He inspects the fencing too. And then you'll be doing the grubbing.
Yep.
But that's the only time you'll start disturbing the soil, is after the limits of construction fencing, tree removal, then you put the sock in. Those things are heavy. And you'll put the fencing in the proper way where it's dug into the ground. And then everything will be protected, and then basically you'll know exactly where to work within.
Yes.
So on the fencing going down next to her property line, you're not going to be removing all the trees down the bottom? Just the areas you're going to be filling or altering?
Yeah, so we're trying to limit our work in there. It's just really trying to catch that existing grade.
Yeah.
So I show that limit of work, but as much as we can retain in that area, we will. And yes, we can install a silt fence, how you're supposed to install it. So we'll dig down and install the silt fence. That way it will limit any runoff going over towards her property.
Okay.
And the closest yard to her property is 30 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're a ways away to begin with.
Yeah, and again, it's really nice soils out here.
Is it?
Anything else?
Can you just clarify? I don't believe this needs to go to the planning board at all.
No, so this is, we just go through COMCOM for this.
And being the leaching field is outside a 150-foot septic system setback, there's no variance needed either.
No, there's no variance needed to construct the septic system.
Craig, DEP said something else.
Yeah, they were concerned about the effects of shading on the undergrowth from the dock. And they were wondering if there's ways to mitigate the impacts of the dock shading in the undergrowth there, the land underneath the dock.
Land and water.
Land and
Water,
water.
the aquatic wildlife and aquatic plants. That's basically what they're saying, that the dock is gonna be fully tight, and you're not gonna get any sunlight in there, which we try not to grow weeds, but they probably are concerned that there should be some ways of getting more filtered sun in between, let's say in between the seams.
Yeah.
I think that's what how big is the dock? Well, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the one that I spec'd is aluminum decking, but it's like the slats are in between it, so it will get some sunlight, but obviously be safe enough to walk on.
Yeah, the thing is, I think because it's not on this plan, being that this is a septic plan more than anything else, I think that might be the reason why they inquired, what about the aquatic life underneath a solid dock and a ramp?
Okay, yeah, I haven't heard that one. So yeah, we'll provide the dock information like you requested, and we can go from there, but I'm pretty sure it will have space in between the slats.
They might have a new sheriff in town down there.
Yeah, must be. So, but if it's not chapter 91, I don't know what they're.
No, they're looking at
Yeah, I know what they're looking at. but
land
do
under
they-
water.
But do they have jurisdiction over that?
I don't,
Okay.
I think they were just suggesting.
Yeah, suggesting, but are they extending their jurisdiction? That's all my question.
It doesn't deal with chapter 91. That's an entirely different
Okay,
category. What they're saying to us is that basically how big is the dock? How much ramp? How much of the
water
water
is going to be covered with
covered
shade.
versus the aquatic process underneath it, plants, animals, and that? The mussels won't like it.
Well, I will say that Napontet doesn't have a problem with growth inside though. Too much.
Yeah,
If you'd like, we asked John Thomas, and he says, you have a bylaw in the act to consider for evaluating NOI impacts. If the dock will have pier-like supports, this will include land underwater impacts. If the dock will be rolling or floating, there will be no impacts to the bottom of the pond.
It'd be floating, but it's tied to piers.
Yeah, but it's moving up and down,
Yeah.
so the light fracture is different. And it's only, what, 5 feet wide, I would imagine?
Yeah, I think it's actually a little less than
We'll
that.
know more when we get the
Yeah,
details on the dock. Usually those are made for the, obviously they're made for the water.
yeah.
anything else?
Do you have anything else?
Um,
She have anything? I don't know if she heard you.
Do you have any other questions for the board?
No, I don't. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to close the hearing on DEP 157665 with the changes that we've discussed.
And a revised plan to be submitted.
No, that's close the
What?
public hearing.
Let's close the hearing.
Do I hear a second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? All right. Now then, for
Now you
the,
can make a motion to endorse the order of conditions with the
All the revisions.
additional revisions as discussed.
So I'll make a motion to endorse the modifications as discussed with DEP 157665.
second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And are you going to stick around for Eisenhower Lane?
Yep, might as well, I'm here, right?
I think she called a couple times. I don't know if she sent an email, but yeah, I'll try to, yeah.
That one's. All right. we got it, okay.
Yeah, 2 times I got to contact you on this one, okay? 3 times. On Beach Street. Right. So,
Give my dog his pill. So this.
So this is under my report here. I received the proposed location of the pool, patio, dock, and path for 3 Eisenhower Lane.
Now, which lot is that? Three, you say 3?
3.
Okay, all right.
Because that was, remember, they had an order of conditions earlier this year that said that the final location would be determined by the conservation agent.
Yes,
So he received that plan,
okay,
but we thought we should share it with all of you.
all right.
So, I mean, it ties into the restoration plan, which
Okay,
Lauren will discuss also.
who wants to start? Mr. Gray, or you want to start, or?
Sure, yeah, so, as Craig was saying, we submitted a revised plan, so we now show the final design for the pool area, which was previously to be determined. And also, we are addressing the restoration areas on the site due to the previously disturbed areas. So I wasn't sure which one you guys would like to tackle first, but we have Lauren here from Park Corporation to discuss the restoration plans for lots 3 and lots 4. And then I can discuss the pool area and any questions you may have there.
Well, let's start with lot 3. That all right with you, Lauren? Lot 3?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Can everybody hear me okay?
fine. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So if we'd like to discuss the restoration first, I can share my screen. I have a couple photos from our site visit as well as the restoration plans.
Okay,
Let me know when you can see my screen.
there we go.
Again, so I'm Lauren Gluck from Park Corporation, just for the record. And here on your screen are some photos that we took during a site visit. Some of the commission came out on September 23rd to take a look at some areas of inadvertent disturbance where the contractor had cleared beyond the limits that had been discussed and approved by the commission. So the first page here, this is lot 3, standing and looking, we're kind of standing above the 25-foot no disturb and looking down to the pond. So in both of these lots, what was approved was a 5-foot wide access path with a floating dock. And in this case, it was about 30 feet wide swath of clearing from the bank up to the house. That was then, there were some wood chips from on-site trees that were placed across the area. This is a better view of the downslope side where the bank is. You'll see where there's kind of an abrupt break in vegetation. There is compost filter sock and construction fencing that was placed along the limits of that disturbance. And the wood chips do seem to be holding things in place for now. However, this, along with the other lot, will require some restoration to get those areas that were not authorized to be cleared back into a vegetated state. The next page here, this is a similar condition that was found on number 1, which is lot 4 on the plan set. So in this case, it was a narrower area, so you can see the wood chips and then the tree line on either side. So in this one, it was about 15 to 20 feet wide of clearing where the 5-foot wide corridor was proposed. However, looking at the plans, it doesn't appear that additional trees were taken out beyond what was allowed, but there was shrubs and a significant understory of mostly sweet pepper bush that was taken out there. And then the second photo is just a view kind of that lower end. You can actually see some seedlings starting to come up through the wood chips there. And this house is already occupied, so they're already storing a boat down here. And the location, I should mention, where this path is, it does correspond to what was shown on the plans originally approved by the commission, whereas the other one, it was a slightly different location, but the contractor did say he discussed the location of the Lot 3 dock with the former conservation agent, John Thomas, who was acting as the interim agent at the time. So with the packet we provided, there's a letter just outlining the background and then the rationale for what we're proposing, but I'll jump right to the restoration plan. So here, this is that first site, Lot 3 I just talked about. So looking down, this is the house, looking down slope. This area here is the disturbed area within the 25-foot no disturb zone. And then the intent would be to place the dock and pathway through the center of that existing disturbed area, down through the retaining wall, and then down the slope, and to have restoration on either side of that. So based on our discussions on the site visit, the commission would like to see the wood chips come out for those restoration areas. So it's about 4 inches thick of wood chips. So that material would come out just to create a plantable surface that corresponds to the grade that it was before, and then planted with a variety of trees and shrubs. Because in this area, this was the wider of the two, the 30-foot wide one, we anticipate that there probably was some saplings and trees that may have come out beyond what was allowed. So we are proposing to put back 6 trees, so gray birch and red maple, along with some shrubs, sweet pepper bush and high bush blueberry, which were predominant throughout the site, and we think they'll do really well there. And then the floating dock location is shown here, right down the middle, and the storage area here. And then the second sheet of the restoration plan shows
Just
that.
a quick question.
Oh, sorry.
Are they going to leave the wood chips as the path, or are they going to put gravel or what for the path? Because if they leave the wood chips, if the homeowner wants to change, he's going to have to come before us again. So I'd like to get it squared away early rather than later.
Okay. Cam might be the one to answer that question. I know that the intent was to keep it wood chips for now, and then I'm not sure about what the future owner would wish to do. So,
Well, on your plan, you have 5-foot wide mulch path with water bars.
Yeah, so we originally showed a crushed stone path, but I figured since the wood chips are already there existing, that we would leave that there. And I think that would be the intent of the homeowner moving forward, is to retain the wood chips.
Okay, I just don't want to have any confusion if he wants to put a gravel or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, just make sure that he's aware of that.
Okay.
I put that on the plan, that if there's any change of the material on the path within the 25 foot, they have to contact the local conservation agent.
Okay.
Laura, one question. You removed the wood chips. What's underneath it? Was it stripped?
I didn't dig around too much. I did use my auger to check the depth of the wood chips, and it was a pretty uniform 4 inches throughout. And there seemed to still be an organic layer underneath, so I think it's perfectly plantable material for plantings.
So we don't have to bring back some of the topsoil that's on site?
I'm not sure that much topsoil was stripped off there. We would need to get some clarification, but like I said, when I was digging down, it felt, pretty fibric. It felt like there was stuff under there, dark material, and that it would correspond to the elevation surrounding the area of the disturbance. It pretty much would match the grade of those areas surrounding. So I don't think there's been any substantial earthwork there.
Yeah, I kicked through a bunch of the chips on both ones, and it seemed like a solid base there. Didn't feel like it was
So nothing has to be brought in once they move the chips?
It doesn't look like, I mean, from the few
No.
spots samples I
The
did,
chips actually, it's hard to see from the photos, but the chips actually,
I mean,
you
it was
know,
still
they
close.
make it a little bit higher than the surrounding area. So once the chips are out, it'll be just kind of
Even,
back to that wetland elevation on either side, or the buffer elevation, rather.
So was the bank covered with the chips also,
Yep, all the way down to the water.
down
Yep.
to the water?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do
Yep.
about that?
They pull the chips out.
Pull all out?
Yeah.
And the bank
And some of the plantings will be along the bank
had stubs.
to help stabilize that. And there's already stuff starting to grow, but then the larger size saplings and shrubs will help to stabilize the bank.
The bank was still fairly solid. I mean, it was
Yeah.
all cut, but you
Yeah.
had 4 or 5 or 6 inch little stubs
Okay.
left.
Yeah.
Can we put cement markers for the 25-foot?
Yep, so I actually showed that on the plan originally, the 25
Did you?
foot.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, there's one here.
Just so that,
Yeah, no, there's one
Remember.
actually just to the north of our proposed dock location, at the edge of the mitigation area,
okay.
or the
Yeah, you
restoration
can
area.
see it on my screen, this circle right here.
Okay.
Gotcha, yeah.
And the trees are going to be positioned so it'll sort of deter them from naturally widening the path in the future?
Yeah, I did put so the trees are these 6 larger icons here. I put those a little bit further back just because we don't want limbs kind of hanging over and intersecting the path that they'll end up,
Yeah.
having to trim back. But we do have some shrubs almost right up to it. But again, we don't want root systems to get in the way of the path either. So we didn't go right up to 5 feet. We went just a little bit beyond to give them a little tiny bit of space to get down there.
All right.
So I can move on to the next
Okay.
plan if you'd like. It's very similar to this one, except in this case,
I have one more thing about the previous plan, if possible.
sure.
On the plan, it lists the trees to be 4 to 6 feet. Is it possible to get larger trees, or just to give them a couple more year head start? Or
We would have to look into what's available. I know this time of year, sometimes it's hard to get the species you want at the larger sizes, but if that's the commission's wish, we could go like 6 feet minimum. But, we haven't checked into the nursery stock to see what they have. But 4 to 6 is typically what we put on restoration plans. So I'll leave that up to the commission.
I defer to your recommendations if you think that that is what is most likely to survive and is what is attainable, but I think
The larger, the better.
the larger the
But-
better in that case, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Laura, why gray birch?
It's just a species that does well in early successional environments, and it does well in full sun. And I think I did see some around the site in other areas. And usually when I'm developing these plans, I look at what's growing in the surroundings just to inform what will thrive. It was definitely red maple dominant, but I wanted to give it a little more diversity, so I threw in a different species.
So this will give cover for some emerging saplings, because gray birch die out in a period of time.
Okay, so yeah, I know they're not very long-lived
Right.
trees, but it will last hopefully for a number of years. And then natural succession is the goal here. We want to give it a foothold to kind of regenerate like the surrounding area. So I think it's a good pioneer species to help jumpstart that.
Okay.
Any other questions on Lot 3?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. So this is Lot 4, number 1 Eisenhower. So so for this one, we're only proposing shrub plantings. This is the narrower of the two, about 15 to 20 feet wide of disturbance. And we did look back at the clearing, and it appeared that only the trees that were approved to be cleared were taken out, hence why we're only proposing shrubs here. But again, we're using the same mix, the sweet pepper bush and high bush blueberry, which we found dominated the surrounding wetlands and buffer zones, and then placed them at the same spacing here, right up to the bank. And when I was out there, we did notice quite a lot of growth along the bank, but we did make sure to put one on each side at least to help anchor that bank a little bit better. But same width of path, same configuration with the dock.
And again, with the same thing, as long as they leave the wood chips for the path, if they want to make
Yep.
any changes, they have to come before us. So would you
Okay.
make those notations?
Yep.
Mr. Gr-
Also, I don't know if you have any of the boundaries again. I'd like to have the boundaries here as well.
Okay.
Boundaries.
Can't remember.
Oh, the 25-foot bound?
Yes,
Yep.
Please, yeah. The
Okay.
cement post.
Okay. So Kim, you'll add that onto your plans?
Yep.
Okay, great. So that's really all I have. So if anyone has any more questions on the restoration, I'd be happy to answer.
no, that's good, we're good. When do you anticipate starting on this?
Well, we want to get the plantings in the fall, this fall.
Yep.
Ideally. So, as soon as authorized, I believe the applicant will be looking into sourcing these plants and getting them installed. That was my impression. So,
Yep.
yep.
I would recommend that we allow the applicant to
Get started?
get started, get the
Yep.
plants, get
Yep.
their landscape or whatever. Because a lot of times they do the landscaping at the end of the project.
Yeah.
So in this case here,
Yeah.
you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah, so, yeah, I would say start it ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah, and we understand that if there is something that's not available, any substitutions would be run by the commission. So as soon as he's, looking into what's available, we'll be in touch if there's an issue finding any of these.
Okay.
We have
And I
two,
think Craig would like to check it out as construction or restoration starts, just to
keep them.
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, keep them in contact.
Okay. Keep in contact with the office and just, all right, give Craig a heads up when it's time to do the plantings.
Yes.
Okay, yep,
Now,
that makes sense.
we have two order conditions we already issued, right?
Yeah, so an order of conditions have been issued for each of these properties.
Okay, and one of them required notification of, the location of these amenities and contact the agent. That was on one of them, the first one, right?
Yeah, and we did do a site walk for that one out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we going to modify these two conditions? Because he has complied by submitting a revised plan of what should have been done earlier and the restoration plan, which we asked for after.
I'm not sure if we have to modify anything. Who's the technical?
I think the way it was written, it was just that the agent had to approve it,
Yeah, okay. So
so it could be,
we don't have to do any more paperwork?
no, I mean, you can note it, that's kind of why we brought it here tonight, so we can note it in the minutes that everybody's in agreement of the final locations of all this stuff.
Okay. All right.
So we don't have to pass any motions on any of these, we
No,
said
no.
it,
Yeah.
it'll be in the minutes, it'll be done,
Okay.
hopefully.
But do you want
No, you
Cam to
should-
review
you
the,
should
with
have-
the pool and all that? for
What's
the-
that?
Do you want Cam to review the pool and all that for the, number?
Lot 3.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, too. The pool area, you want to talk about that a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Is that salt water?
What is it?
Is it salt water or is it?
Yep, so I prepared a memo. So the pool area, it will consist of a saltwater pool, and it will be a paver patio. So I included the design plan from the pool company in your packet, and you can kind of see what they're proposing here. So they propose an infinity pool, as well as a spa with a paver patio and a pool house that will be going down to the dock. That dock entrance that they show on their proposed plan was the old entrance. So it's actually gonna be at the staircase to the right in front of the pool house. I can put it up. I think I got it.
Okay.
But really, I just took their design plan and put it on, all the impervious and put it on the, our plan.
Okay. All right.
Why don't we get an opinion from John? Get an opinion from John, if these are considered modifications to the order of conditions and something has to go on record. Because we've been introduced with a new set of plans. The restoration is entirely different, but
Well, the pool was always on the plan. It was not just exactly located.
Right.
We knew it was a pool was going there, but I don't think it's a major modification.
Yeah, I thought that we sort of left it that way so they wouldn't,
because they were
Have to
only
come
concerned
back
about
and-
getting the house. That's
Yeah.
all they were concerned
Yeah.
about. They had no idea what they're going to do in the backyard.
Yeah. But I don't think it's enough of a modification that we have to do anything to it. We knew that there was always going to be a pool there,
Yeah.
so. Craig, what do you think?
The plan for this had said that the pool house path and dock location needed to be approved by
By
the
the
conservation agent
Yeah.
prior to construction. From my understanding, that's all that's needed, not a
Okay, all
modification.
right. Anything else?
I'm all set.
So with that, thank you, Mr. Gray.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion? Are you,
Well,
minutes,
first I've got some minutes.
Minutes,
Yep.
minutes.
so I reviewed the minutes from,
You're all set, Lauren.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
I reviewed the minutes from September 22nd, and I didn't have any additions or corrections. Did anybody else have anything they want to change or add?
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, September 22nd.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you. With that,
All right, just to note it one final time, the next meeting is not happening because of town meeting. So
okay.
keep it on your calendar, just don't come here. Go to the town meeting instead.
All right. So, ready. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good night, all. Thank you.